Hello together, I'm Aaron the Black Dragon. Today, we're going to find out what color my aura has. With this quiz right here, Aura Color Quiz. This is a quiz that actually my brother Pop recommended to me, and sure enough, here I am. Let's see what it is. I tend to express myself through my physical body and my sexuality more than through my emotions. No, I think I express myself a lot more through emotions than my sexuality and my physical body. I relate to people who are comfortable expressing their sexuality, like Marilyn Monroe or the singer Madonna. I would be comfortable being a sex symbol, or I relate to the strong, heroic types, knights, firefighter, boxer, and soldier. I am 100% comfortable with people expressing their sexuality. We should normalize that, in fact. I don't know if I myself see myself as a sex symbol, so this also kind of falls under this sometimes category. I often have a quick temper, but get over it quickly and do not hold grudges. And no, I don't have a quick temper, and therefore I don't need to get over it quickly, and grudges. The only grudge that I hold constantly is against myself, so whatever. Whenever I'm angry, my first impulse is to react physically. Throw something, yell, hit, punch, strike out, physically, or get drunk. The last one is kind of a shift in context all of a sudden. But nope, I'm not impulsive to get physical in any way, shape or form, or get drunk at that, so I relish dangerous, thrilling, high-risk physical challenges. The more danger, the better. I want to say no when it comes to that. I would be interested in doing some things like bungee jumping, even though I have a fear of heights. Maybe in parachuting and other things like this that are normal thrill-seeking activities, but I can go on a roller coaster ride. It's also thrill-seeking to a certain degree and would be fine with that. Success is easily defined for me. Accomplishing a daring feat, reaching the top of the mountain, winning the race, surviving the champ, and having the money to be able to do it again. Nah. Success is not easily defined for me. I'm a struggler, I wanna say. I survive on my own notion and I can go ahead rather easily, but it doesn't come easily to me. Potential for experiencing physical pain does not frighten or deter me from having adventures. Interestingly enough, the thought of physical pain is much worse for me than actually experiencing physical pain, so I'm gonna go with sometimes, because sometimes just the imagination of how something will hurt is worse to me, so that it basically tells me to not do it, than actually experiencing the physical pain. I would love to freelance and get paid by sponsors to do daring feats. Nah, don't need that. I would love to freelance and potentially get paid by sponsors as well, but not for daring feats, but for something that I actually love. In my case, it wouldn't be daring feats, but maybe doing YouTube. So yeah, no, not that. My lifestyle tends to be flamboyant and eccentric. I mean, I can be flamboyant, but I don't think I have the eccentric down, sadly. Also, my lifestyle doesn't tend to be flamboyant or eccentric. I like to shock and challenge people's beliefs so that humanity doesn't become static and boring. You seem like a troublemaker, Magenta, just want to point that out. Like, the kind of person that goes in and sees a perfectly fine and calm water and goes in and stirs it around just so that there's motion. It doesn't always need motion, let people be. Don't be a douche is basically what I want to say. I don't usually take responsibility for friends or family. Nah, I take responsibility for them because if they're my family, I like my family. You don't have to take responsibility for family that you don't like. If you've never heard that, by the way. You don't have to take responsibility for people you don't like, even if they're family. You don't have to justify actions of people that you don't want to associate with. Good? Keep that in mind, because it's an important life lesson. But yeah, as long as I like the person or love them, I will take responsibility for them as well. I feel more comfortable living in a big city where I can hide out in crowds. No, I feel comfortable being in a bit more remote places, not extremely remote, because I still want to have the comfort of getting into places quickly and not having to drive out a long ways to get to the nearest supermarket, which would be frustrating but interesting for like a vacation or something. I would love to be able to see auras. Well, that one I can agree with. I mean, generally, having the ability to see the unseen would be nice. And auras in that case would be really interesting. Even though I didn't know what I would do with that talent. I just love it. Having fun, enjoying life and playing are strong priorities for me. I like everyone to be happy and for life to be easy and simple. I can agree with that one wholeheartedly. I would love for life to be simple and easy, not just for me but for everyone. But I'm also realistic enough to know that that's probably not gonna happen anytime soon or maybe ever. I have a great sense of humor and love to laugh. Then we can talk about great sense of humor. I love to laugh, that's for sure. My great sense of humor... I mean, if you've watched this channel for a certain amount of time, you may realize my kind of humor, so you tell me if you think it's great. I personally think it's a roller coaster of quality. I'm usually a healthy person. However, I often have back or knee problems, including backaches. I am a healthy person, but I don't have back or knee problems, even though they would go really good hand in hand with my line of work. As a waiter, you get wrist and back problems. Not as much knee problems. You actually have more problems with your feet than your knees. Have nothing of that sort. Really happy about that. So no, I have nothing like this. Luckily. I'm not an emotional person. I am usually calm and non-reactive in a crisis. I am an emotional person, I wanna say. It depends on the situation, because in a crisis I can react calm, because you need someone to be cool-headed in a crisis. I'm gonna go with sometimes, because sometimes my emotions can get the better of me, even in a crisis, but I try and tend to be calm and cool-headed. I tend to do well working on the details of a project. Yes! And we can see that all too apparent in my drawings that I showed you in the going through my old drawings videos. I love detail work. I sadly don't always have the time to put in a lot of detail work, as for my videos sometimes I don't get to do a lot of that because it takes a lot of time. I have a lot of videos to get through, and again, I'm working next to all of this, so I cannot just make YouTube as my main thing, because then I would have more time and would get to do more detail work. Maybe one day I can do that, but for the time being, sadly, I don't have the capability to do that. I'm ready to get out of the box and be free. Yes. That's for sure. Let's get out here. Be free! I am fascinated by how things work, especially such things as airplanes, submarines and equipment. Equipment? What do you mean with equipment? What? I mean, yes, I'm fascinated with how things work, that's 100% correct. But what do you mean with equipment? Be specific! I tend to be a patient listener. Yes, that I am. 100%. If you need to get something off your chest, I will sit there and listen. Maybe throw a few stupid quips in there every now and then to lighten maybe the mood a bit, but I will listen, regardless of that. I tend to be quiet, reserved and sometimes shy. Sometimes I can be quiet and reserved, sometimes, and I'm sometimes shy, which makes it even less times shy? Figure that out. I frequently feel scattered, often forget appointments, or overbook my schedule with conflicting appointments. No, I'm not the kind of person that does that, because I don't have a lot of appointments. But I also have always in mind what I'm doing. I know a few people that are exactly that, but I personally don't have a problem with that. I like things to be organized, efficient and well planned. I frequently write lists. No. I mean, I have lists for video ideas. that I want to do. But that's also because I might forget about them. Other than that, I don't need lists for organizational stuff. My 3 strongest priorities are making a lot of money, accomplishing my financial and business goal, and being respected by other powerful and intelligent people. These are more important to me than helping others or improving the quality of life on the planet. Screw you! You're the problem of this planet in the first place. Screw you! Not you. Go to you! Yes, I'm talking about you, douchebag. I'm very intuitive and empathetic. I sometimes have experiences of knowing things that haven't happened yet. No, but I would love to have the ability to know things that haven't happened yet. I tend to put the needs of others first and my needs last. Sometimes. I think I'm getting better with that. I used to do that a lot, but I think I'm getting better with it. I have a strong desire to help improve life on the planet. Yes. I have a playful imagination. I enjoy fantasy and make-believe more than the real world. Sometimes because it's just comforting to escape from the real world, because the real world is a piece of shit. My environment has chimes, crystals, soothing aromas and gentle music. Also I have pictures of angels, fairies, mythical figures or whimsical creatures in my home. I have dragons. Those are mythical creatures. Other than that, nothing of that actually applies to me. So I'm gonna go with no, because in that case, more says no than it says yes. I need to spend a lot of time alone in meditation to replenish myself. I prefer solitude. No. I like meditation, but I don't need it to replenish myself, and solitude, I enjoy solitude, so I'm gonna go with sometimes, because at least the solitude is correct. And I enjoy meditation, so there's some truth to that, okay? My personality changes to match others around me. Sometimes, because it is, and I said it with a big sadly, an ability that you kinda need to have as a waiter. Because if you want people to feel comfortable and nice around you and have a good time, you kinda need to shift over to a personality that would fit well with the guests that you're dealing with. So I have that ability, but I use it more in a practical application than in day-to-day life. It's just for work. Computers and other technologies are second nature to me. Yes, because I love playing around with that. Getting a new stuff, just play around in the settings for a good chunk of time. I cannot be forced to operate against my beliefs even if it would make others happy. Guilt and punishment do not work on me. That's correct, you cannot guilt or punish me into doing something that I would not like to do. And specifically something that would hurt others. I experienced at least one of the following as a child. A. Emotional, physical or mental abandonment or rejection, i.e. unwanted child, adopted, alcoholic parents. Luckily no. B. Emotional, physical or mental abuse, also luckily no. C. Didn't feel safe in my environment, or I felt I didn't belong on the planet and the adults didn't understand me, also luckily no. D. Life-threatening situation before birth, at birth or at a young age. I don't know. I only know that I was a problematic birth and that as soon as I was there, the doctor took me away. So I don't know if it was a life-threatening situation, but it was at least a big enough situation of concern that I was not immediately given to my mother. So maybe sometimes for D? I don't know. I don't think it was life-threatening, but again, I got taken away. My mother even doesn't know what it was, so. I frequently experience intense, often uncontrollable anger or rage. Only when it comes to RNG. Other than that, no. Next! My results. Okay, so the site crashed and everything was lost. Everything was lost. I did this whole thing for 1 hour in the hopes to find something out. To see the color of my aura. And then it just crashes on me and I would have to redo all of that, and it took 1 hour to get through this for in the first time. Guess we will never find out what color my aura is in that case. That was super annoying and frustrating. I'm sorry for the disappointment there, but hey, at least you learned something about me, I guess. And I learned something about myself. It was still an interesting thing. We got to learn a lot about each other. this was heavily cut down probably for you, because there's a lot of stuff that I just could cut away because it's not super important, because it kept repeating itself over and over again. So, whatever. I hope you enjoyed it anyway. See you next time. Bye.